Hello everybody. Thank you for coming over to my channel, Perfect Hearts Crochet. Today I am going to be going over a very easy stitch called the single crochet 3 together. It is again a skill level of easy. So it's a beautiful stitch and it's basically a single crochet. Okay, so we are going to start. So this again is just a sample of the stitch, and you begin with your slip knot, which you can go over 2 fingers if that's easier, and then flip over the hoop and then run it through. Okay, and this is how you begin. In this particular stitch, you're going to work multiples of 2, so chains of multiple of 2, and depending on how the size of your project, how large you want it or how small you want it. Today I decided to go with a little bit thicker yarn. Hopefully you can see the stitches better. So we're going to do multiple of 2 in the chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So to begin, so that's your chain in multiples of 2s. So on the first row, you're going to be starting in the 3rd chain from the hook. So there's chain 1, there's chain 2, and there's chain 3. So you're going to go into your 3rd chain from the hook, bring up a loop, and now you have 2 loops. Then you're going to go into the next chain, pull up a loop, and now you have 3 loops on your hook, and then a 3rd chain. So basically your first row, you're going to go into the 3 of those chains, bring up until you have a multiple of 4 loops on your hook, and then you're going to yarn over and pull it through. And then at this point you're going to chain 1. Okay, beginning the next stitch, you're going to go into the previous last chain, not the next chain, but the previous last chain. So you want to go into that, bring up a loop, you have 2 loops, and then you bring up another loop, and then you have 3 loops on your hook, and then a 3rd chain, and there you go. You have 4 loops. So you always want to be sure that you have the 4 loops on your hook before you yarn over and go through all 4. And that is called your single crochet 3 together. Then you're going to do a chain 1, and again you're going to go into that previous worked chain that you did that last loop. You're going to go into that one, and again that's counted as 1. The next chain 2, and the next chain 3, and then you have the 4 loops, and then yarn over and then chain 1. Let's do that once again. The previous chain, you worked that last yarn over, you're going to go into that chain, pull up a loop, go into the next chain. Oop, all of a sudden I lost it. Pull up a loop, and then the next one, pull up a loop. So when you're on this series, I'm doing an easy skill level. It is a beginning episodes. However, you do need to know the basic crochet. And then you're going to do chain 1, and then you're going to go again into that previous chain. You just pulled that last stitch through, You're going to go into that one, go into the next chain, have 3 loops, and the next chain. So it is called single crochet 3 together. You're not counting this first chain. You're counting 1, 2, 3. Those are your 3 crochets together. And then you're yarning over and then going through all 4. And then chain 1. So when you're doing multiple of 2 on your beginning chain, no matter how, I did 14, but you could do 22, 24, as long as it's multiples of 2, you will end up, after you chain 1, you will end up with this last single chain stitch. Okay, you shouldn't end up with any more. You should end up with one single chain stitch here at the end. So you're just going to go into that last chain and do 1 single crochet, and that's the end of that first row, and that's what that looks like. So let's start with turn over. Then you're going to turn your work, and then at that point you're just going to chain 2, and then at this point you're going to pull up a loop in that chain 1 space. So before you turn this stitch, you did the 1 chain and then the single crochet. So when you turn it, you do the chain 2, and then you're going to pull up a loop in that chain 1 space. So you have 2 loops. Then you're going to put a second one in the top. Let me see if I can bring this up closer. On the top of that 3 together. So there's that 1 stitch right there, and you're going to put it through that one, bring up a loop, so you now have 3, and then you're going to pull up another loop in the next chain 1 space, and there you have your 4 loops on there. And then you yarn over, go through all, and then you do the chain 1. Okay, the next is stitch is you're going to go into that same chain 1 space that you pulled up that last loop. So you're going to go into that chain 1 space, pull up a loop, then you're going to go and pull up a loop on the top of the chain of the 3 single crochet stitch. You're going to go and pull up a loop there, and then another one you're going to pull up a loop in the next chain 1 space, and there you have your 4 loops. And then you chain, and then you chain 1. Again, you're going into that chain 1 space again as you did that last one. The top of the chain of the single crochet, the 3 single crochet, you're going to go into that stitch, and then into the single the chain 1 space, and there's your 4 loops. Bring it over, and then chain 1, go through that chain 1 space, the top of the 3 single crochet, and then the next chain 1 space again. Here we go, and then chain 1, back into that chain 1 space, the top of the 3 single crochet stitch, and then the next chain 1 space, and then loop over all 4, chain 1. Okay, now you're at the end of the second row, and you're going to be at the top of the chain 2. So when you did your first row, you chained 2, and you turned and chained 2. So now you're just going to put a single crochet in the top of the chain 2 space, and then that is now your second row. And it's really that simple. It's a beautiful stitch when you see it in the larger, and then from this point on you just continue like you did that second row. So chain 2, go into the that chain 1 space, the top of the 3 single crochet that you did, and then the next chain 1 space. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this sample of a single crochet 3 together. Please leave any comments that you might have. I would love to hear from you, and I hope this is easy enough, and I hope you return. If you like this channel, please subscribe, like. I am new to YouTube, and I hope that I continue. I'll try to get out more videos as I continue here. So if tomorrow, if you return, or I mean the next video, I'm hoping to get one out again tomorrow, but the next video will be a crossed double crochet. So we're gonna leave the single crochet, we're gonna go on to the crossed double crochet. Again, it's another beautiful stitch. I hope you enjoy. Have a great day. And thank you for joining Perfect Hearts Crochet. Bye-bye.